Hey guys, welcome back. Today we are going to speak about the crazy stuff that is the Bitcoin, the cryptocurrency. I'm going to speak about the Bitcoin in very simple terms so that everyone from any field can actually understand about it. Okay, before I start, if anyone has any doubt in the technology or the scientific terms or any big doubt, you can put it down in the comment section and we can definitely discuss about it. Okay, so let's get started with today's video. Okay, so Bitcoin. This is something that we should actually know about it at this time. We should have some idea about it because just look about this. There are around 290,000 to 27,000 Bitcoin transactions that happens on every day, like daily basis. Okay, then you also have this Bitcoin. Actually, Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency. Okay, there are hundreds and thousands of cryptocurrencies, out of which is one is called as Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is considered the father of all cryptocurrencies because Bitcoin was the first cryptocurrency which was to be invented. And let me tell you, if you combine all the cryptocurrencies together, that would become around 0.7% of world's money, out of which 0.4% is contributed by Bitcoin itself alone. So that's a huge amount actually. So these are some reasons why you should actually know about Bitcoin at this time. Actually should have some idea about it, I guess. So let's get started with this. Okay, so Bitcoin is definitely one of the biggest thing that's going around. Let's understand first why was Bitcoin actually invented. Way back in 2007, 2008, it was invented. So the reasons, some of the main reason that why it was invented was first, if I had to send some money at that time, maybe 1,000 rupees from here to my friend who is at other part of the world, then the banks who comes in between, actually the third parties, so I have to pay a lot of big amount of fees to get the job done. Okay, so to avoid these things was one of the reasons why Bitcoin came into the picture. Sending money from one place to other place without paying any money for the third party or any big fees something. So that's one reason why Bitcoin came. And the second main reason, or very big reason why Bitcoin was created was because of the devaluation of currency that occurs. Let us consider the Indian rupees 20 years back and now. If you consider, there's a total of more than 3.5% the Indian value has been devaluated. If you want to understand this much more in detail, let's consider a country like Zimbabwe. The Zimbabwean dollars, okay, way back in the recession and the stuff was going on in 2006 2007, the Zimbabwean dollars had a devaluation of around 92%. That's very big. So if you have the Zimbabwean dollars at that time, maybe if you have around 30,000 Zimbabwean dollars, the value just fell down and became equivalent to 1 USD. That's very bad or very terrible stuff. And actually didn't stop there. Even from 2007 onwards, when 2010, 2012, 2015, 18, the devaluation of Zimbabwean dollars kept on happening. And currently, if you have around 10,000 million Zimbabwean dollars, you can just buy maybe 2 3 bottles of Coca Cola. That's it. So that was how the Zimbabwean dollars had devaluation. So this thing that was going at that period, we didn't want something, a currency whose value just devaluates. We need a currency whose value stays stable, whose value actually increases over the period of time. That was the second main reason why Bitcoin, the cryptocurrency Bitcoin, was invented. We'll see why actually there's a devaluation in the Zimbabwean dollar, the Indian rupees. Why does that happen? And why, how it is avoided in Bitcoin. So why does actually this devaluation occurs? So let me, there are a lot of reasons why it occurs. So let me just take it into a simple terms and let's just focus on the main bad reasons why it occurs. The first reason or the very bad reason why it occurs is actually the politics that goes into it. For example, if there's an election that's coming in, the government has control over the money, the bank has control over the money, the government prints a lot of money for its own elections, maybe. So there's a lot of money that's put into it. There's a lot of fake currency that's been printed every now and then. So there's a lot of fake currency that's put into it. So whenever there's a lot of money that's put into the market, the value of money is devalued. The value of money comes down. In simple terms, for example, why does gold has its value? Why does gold has its value? One and the major reason why gold is considered valuable and why its price increases is because you know that gold is limited and only 30% of more gold is left. So that's the reason why gold's price is increasing. But it's not true in the case of Indian rupees or any other country's currency because Indian rupees or some other country's currency is not going to finish. Whenever it's becoming less, the government or the politics prints a lot of money and puts it into the market, and there's again a supply and demand that goes on, and the value comes down of it. So to avoid this thing and to maintain something like gold, the Bitcoin came into picture. So just like gold has a limited source, a limited supply, similarly Bitcoin has limited supply. There's only around 21 million Bitcoins that can come into the market. There's no more than that. Okay, so Bitcoin is something like gold. Okay, so here you have it. The Bitcoin, there are only 21 million Bitcoin that can be made available into the market. So there's only 21 million Bitcoin that can come into picture, and government or central bank, or there's no central organizing system which actually influences this. The government cannot make this supply go up and down. It's fixed. Only 21 million Bitcoins are going to come into picture, and what's more is, let me tell you guys that 18 million Bitcoin has already come into picture. So that is 88% of Bitcoin is already into picture, and there's around 2.4 million Bitcoins that is left, and there's around 900 new Bitcoins that is generated every single day. That is, by the year 2140, every Bitcoin will be present in the market. Okay, so 18 million Bitcoins is already into the market. There's 2.4 million that is left. So who decides that when should this 2.4 million come into the market? Okay, who decides it? Does government has any role in it? No, government has zero role into it. Bitcoin is totally programmed. Okay, so how the Bitcoin system is programmed is that, for example, if I am sending 10 Bitcoins to my friend, so there has to be someone who actually checks that, okay, 10 Bitcoin has to be deducted from my account, it has to be credited to my friend's account, the process is kept genuine. So the person who actually does this for you, is that person is actually called as a Bitcoin miner. So that person gets as a reward around 12 Bitcoins. That is, and that 12 Bitcoins are the new Bitcoins. Okay, from this 2.4 million Bitcoins, he gets 12 Bitcoin from that. So that is the only method, one and only method, and how Bitcoin can be generated or put into supply. There's no other method. That is, this is truly a supply and demand based program. Only when there's transactions occurring, only then there is new Bitcoin that is generated and given to the person who actually validates the system, who actually validates the transaction. So there's no other method which comes into picture. For example, the politic story that I just told before. There's no government who's actually printing Bitcoins and putting when he wants or whenever she wants. No, there's nothing like that. So it is truly based on demand and supply. Okay, so only when there's transactions occurring, only at that time there's a person validating it and he or she gets a reward for it. And that is the only method how new Bitcoins are put into market. Unlike the other system where government prints money whenever he or she wants and put it in the market, which causes devaluation of it. So that is avoided in this concept of Bitcoins. Okay, so this is how the value of Bitcoin is kept pretty stable. So this concept makes sure that a controlled amount of Bitcoin, new Bitcoins, is put into the market, not more, like not too much Bitcoin is put in the market and then the value reduces. No, only how much demand is there, only that much new Bitcoins are generated. How much demand is there, that the software understands looking at the amount of transactions that occurring. So yeah, it's super cool. Like it's way back at that time we have planned this all things. It's great. And also there's one more feature that's there in Bitcoin, that is called the halving event. It's a very big feature which actually makes it so famous. That is, what happens is after every 4 years, or you can say after every set of amount of Bitcoin that's put into the market, it's typically around 4 years. So after every 4 years, the amount of Bitcoin that comes, that is put into the market, that is, in the previous story we said that the person who validates or checks the transaction gets 12 Bitcoins as a reward. Okay, so now after 4 years, all the rewards will be reduced to 50%. That is, now anyone is doing this validation or this checking of the transaction will get only 6 Bitcoins as a reward. That is, you are reducing the supply of Bitcoin into the market by 50%. Just imagine if tomorrow someone says that the gold that is coming in into the market is reduced by 50%. So obviously the price will just shoot up. The gold price will just shoot up because the gold that is coming in is reduced by 50%. Something similar. The Bitcoins now which is coming into the market is reduced by 50%. This is called the halving event. It just recently occurred in May 11, 2020 at around 4 p.m. See it over here. This is the graph. It shows these vertical lines are the halving event that occurs. It occurred now 3 times. So you can see whenever this halving event occurs in 1 year's time, then the value of Bitcoin rises 10 times. It's occurring even now. The value of Bitcoin before the halving event was around 7 lakhs. Then the halving event occurred in May, and now the price has already touched 9 lakhs instead of the, like, even this coronavirus pandemic is all going on, even still the price of Bitcoin is touching 9 lakhs. So they say it will rise at 10 times. Maybe it won't rise 10 times because of the economic conditions and the pandemic that's going on, but definitely you can predict that it will rise minimum maybe 3 times, 4 times, maybe. Yeah, I forgot to mention that PayPal, you might have seen the symbol. PayPal, which is used in eBay and other online sites, has started accepting Bitcoin from way back in 2014. So if you're buying from something from eBay or some other sites which uses PayPal, you can use your Bitcoins over there. Again, PayPal, the founder of PayPal is, maybe you might be knowing about it, it is Elon Musk. He's also the founder of SpaceX and the Tesla Motors and those all stuff. Okay, so considering Bitcoin as an investment, I would suggest you can take it as a short-term investment, because now the halving event is going on, the prices is expected to shoot a lot. So this short term maybe it will go good, but as a long term you cannot say about it, because one main thing is there can be some other currencies which will come into picture which might have some more features than the Bitcoin, and people may go for it. But yeah, it won't happen so fast because Bitcoin is there here from a very long time. It has acquired the entire market almost, and there's a lot of transaction that's going on in Bitcoin. So that's amount of trust Bitcoin has already generated among the people. So for a different currency to come and acquire this all things, it will take quite big time. Again, there is something to tell about Bitcoin, that is, if I'm sending some Bitcoins to someone else, no one actually knows, like, that I have sent some Bitcoins to him. It's totally, a high level privacy, you can say. It's not like the banks where you transfer and the government knows who has how much money and that also. Here no one knows who has how much Bitcoins, who is transferring how much Bitcoin to anybody. It's all kept private. So that's an again you can consider that as an advantage of Bitcoins. Again, talking about Bitcoins, the inventor of Bitcoin is termed as Satoshi. He himself is unknown. We don't know who is the real inventor. The Satoshi, the name that is given, maybe it's a name of a group or something. No one knows about it till now, till date. So again, considering as an investment, it's up to you guys. But as of till date, Bitcoin has never failed, has never made anyone upset till now. It's going pretty well. So I hope this short video gave you a good idea about Bitcoins, and you can also check out my next video which I'll be putting, and how to buy Bitcoin and how to store Bitcoin and how to sell Bitcoin in a the best way that is possible, using the Binance, using the WazirX apps which is developed in India, and the entire settings of it, and how to do it in a very cost efficient way. You can check out the next video for it if you're interested in Bitcoins. I hope this video gave you quite a just a small piece of knowledge which is actually required, I think. Thank you.